So, Sequential has released new synth. That's what I discovered when I opened my newsletters. But this wasn't quite what I was expecting to see. And what I want to do now is that, unfortunately, I don't have the synth. If I would have it, I would make you some demo video, but I really want to share you my thoughts of it, because what I struggle with is that I think I need to reflect my thoughts here together with you, and I would like you to write me comments, what you think, and if you think that my vision of it is quite offset to the reality or anything like that. But let's have a tech talk. Grab yourself a cup of tea, at least I have done, and that you should do what too also. So I would like to start with what seems to be like the thing with this. It's like it should be like a Prophet 5, but a little bit cheaper one with polyphonic aftertouch and their new keypad. And it should be like it's like you should go back in time, and take something new with you or something like that. But why on earth? If they want to make it a Prophet 5 and using the elements of it, why would they make it mono? I don't understand. I mean, of course, I think it could make something on the price, but I think many are surprised over why mono. I mean, it's one thing on the Prophet 5, which is a reissue, but we are in the 21st century. Why making this? That's so weird. Another thing that I understand is more about money here is like you don't have a normal power supply. You need to have this adapter thing, which is, I guess, for reducing costs. USB-C, well, USB-C is a new thing and it's good in some ways, but I don't really like it on synthesizers. Sorry if I'm too picky now, but I mean, a normal USB cable is much more reliable, and that's what the audio interface manufacturer RME is telling as well. They are not going over to USB-C because it's a flimsy contact. But else, what I think is a good thing here, I see, if you look at this MIDI, they have a MIDI through. That's a good thing. Many are missing this out, and it's nice if you want to bypass through some MIDI to another synth then. So, yeah, I don't know what more to say on that physical connection side. But here I have some parts that I would like to reflect my thoughts on. First of all, I think that when you look at it, it's a good interface. I mean, everything is so clear and well laid out, and that's a part with sequential. And if we look at here, you can see they have an octave range instead of having the Prophet style, which is semitone steps. This is a very good approach. I love this because this makes programming so much faster. And you have the frequency here, which goes 7 semitone up or down, positive and negative, and you make your fine tune there also. Absolutely amazing. That's what I like on, for example, my Pro 3 and my Trigon 6. What I don't like here, on the other hand, is they have been, you know, they omitted the how to say the pulse width modulation. I'm sure it's about saving some space and money in production, to reduce the cost. Instead, with pulse width modulation, you see where there's a blue text ribbon. When you press these buttons with blue text, this value knob will instantly change value, as you've been seeing on some reviews. I think that's a kind of a good way to compromise removing some of the buttons and functionality and knobs, to make it like that. But in some way, it can be a little bit, would put me off in my excitement of using the synth, because I think that the most important on this type of synth, I think they are missing like the hands-on feeling. They've been omitted some parts that's really important, and I'm going to show you some of them. The feedback amount, I think that should have been a knob for sure. Um, the noise amount, the button style, of course it works because most of the time you activate noise and you set a level to it and you have it there on that program. But I'm going to be picky and say that in a way of a you experience, the feeling of programming a synth. if you have like a knob here, it feels so much better at least. And I fully understand that if we add too many knobs, we would have a problem that the cost would like expand like crazy over time, because that's always something that increase the price. But I think that perhaps it would be in a long term making the synth better. And also what we can see here, I think most of the things here else are very well laid out. And I think the design of it looks very nice. I think the buttons looks nice. I think the new modulation thing was very interesting, because I was getting it wrong. I was hoping for like, if you put a blue color, I was hoping for the blue color would be for that type of, source, but that's not how it is. What I could see is like it's more like it one color represent direct modulation bus, and one represent like going to the through the mod wheel source and things like that. But I think it's okay. It's just it's very innovative. It's a good approach, I guess. But it's just me that would think of it in a different way. So what I also think would be like big complaints about the synth in a long term would be the four voices, because the reason is that if you make a nice polysynth and you add four voices, you're on the microKORG syndrome. The microKORG is terrible when it comes. You cannot do pads because it's four voices. It's of course you can, but I mean it's five voices is the least. At least they should be putting five voices in this one. That would have been so much better. And this is just a matter of taste for me. I think that keys, I would love to have this as a module instead of having the keys. But it's some way I can say I have some synth that has mini keys. These ones are like slim keys. And it's actually not that bad as you might think, because it will make the synth very accessible and things like that. But on the other hand, I think they become like a toy in the look. So they look so weird. And making things small also has like some minor things that can make impact. For example, on the Gaia 2, I remember many of the users were complaining about the modern pitch wheel being a small one instead of a large one. And I can agree on that was a weird decision that made the synth look weird. But on the other hand, what I like is that it has keys, because that's nice when you pick up a synth and just play it and things like that, and you just want to program it fast. And I think overall the look is really nice to it. I think this little touch gives it a nice look, and I think that overall it's looking good. It seems like from reviewers that the knobs are really firm, and I bet that they are firm like on a Take 5, which would be the same potentiometers. Um, but on the other hand, when speaking about Take 5, for me, this is not sure that I would like rush to get, when I have a Take 5. Honestly, I think the Take 5 has major advantages over this one, but the sound is not as raw as on this one, I guess, because this one is more in the pure analog style and you don't have any effects. Another thing to point out is that the filter, the 4-pole Prophet 5 filter, seems like to have some rest compensation on it, so it doesn't drop in the lower frequency when you increase the resonance. And you also have like the feedback amount for the filter, which I believe is like the Trigon 6 style ish. And so I'm going to be honest. In my case, this would be like fun to have, but I really don't see like the big need for it. But I guess I need to try one, but I don't have the possibility to try it right now for many months forward, I guess. But I'm not sure. I don't feel that I need to rush to get this one. I was so much more hoping for um, like a Take 5 with the Trigon 6 filters, because I really love the modulation possibility. This one will not bring too many new sounds to the table because this is more like vintage-ish, Prophet 5-ish, but having some better things to it. And what I'm a bit concerned about is that when I watch reviews on YouTube, I don't know if it's only the YouTube that compresses the audio too much or anything like that, or if it's the reviewers that are compressing the audio on the synth too much, because I think it sounds very flat in the, but that must be the use case, I guess. I guess that when you listen to it, it should at least sound more or less like the other synthesizers. But it's the first time, I'm going to be honest with you, that I'm a bit skeptical about the synth that has been released from Sequential. And I promise you that I love most of their synths, and but it can be also that I have most of them. So, and I don't want to say anything, to talk bad about. They are very innovative company, and this they have proven this with the keypad with polyphonic aftertouch and these things. But and also the problem, for me is that when I see reviews, when people are trying to synth, they're like, yeah, listen to this filter, it's full open resonance, everything, it's like they're going to extreme values. What I want is to try them out with more precise settings that I'm doing as well. But remember that my criticism is shouldn't be taken serious in that way, because my criticism is more like I'm too picky. I'm so much picky about the noise levels and things like that. I mean, the audio levels and things in the mixer and things like that. So I get everyone's doing a great job. I don't want to say anything like that, but it's, understand me correct. This is the weirdest experience I have when a synth has been released. And what should I say? Polyphonic aftertouch. I don't see the point of it. It's cool, I mean, and so many are like, yeah, it's polyphonic aftertouch in this synth. It's a cool feature, of course, but I don't think I use it in music. But if I would need, why the heck wouldn't I be able to record it on a separate audio track and make that aftertouch just on that note? Then of course it's a bit tinkering and things like that, but that's how it's done, I guess, for the most simple sake. And understand me correct, I really want to try this synth. I'm so excited, I'm so open to new ideas. Maybe this is a fantastic synth that will make me so interested in sound programming. It looks so inviting, in programming. But I think that in my case, I would rather save some extra to get the Prophet 5 instead. The module. But oh, this is so hard. It's always like that when synths are released. So I wonder, what are your thoughts? I'm both excited and not excited at the same time. It's such a bittersweet. I don't know. It's so in one way this is fun, because when it's like this, it can give surprises and things like that. I don't know what to say. The price tag, yeah, it's not too high, it's not too low either. But the focus on this product should be an entry level Profit 5, I guess. But what but my question is like, what have they been compromising if it's four voices and almost like a Profit 5? There must be something. I mean, why wouldn't they be able to make the Profit 5 much cheaper then? I don't understand. There must be something compromised here. So, what are your comments? I think I leave everything here, and I'm going to stay confused for a while. I need to try this one to reduce my confusedness. It's a synth that has been grinding my brain a bit. It's I I don't know. It's so fun. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching, and I hope that this was I could give some reflection of my thoughts, and I wonder what your thoughts are. Like, it seems like this is like a menu diving ish synth, but not at the same time. It's somewhere between. There are some things that you need to dig for in the menus and things like that. Whoa, that was much. All right, so leave a comment and stay happy. I hope anyone can try this one and write to me what they think. Have a good one.